Varga Peter is playing with the white pieces and Szabo Christian is playing with the black pieces. I'm Minh from Hungary. I'm going to be your commentator. We have a Slav defense. Now 6, e3, e6, knight bd2. White could have transposed to the main line with knight c3 to the semi-Slav. When on opening, very popular. For this game, Peter chose a sideline, bishop d3, black takes, knight takes c4. Alright. I think d takes c4 was a mistake. I think black should have maybe developed with bishop d6. The problem with d takes c4 is that now white has 2 pawns in the center. So that's white's advantage. And also, now the c4 knight is covering d6. So black has to develop this bishop to a more passive square, e7, which is a move that we don't want to play, and that's why black was thinking. He played c5, castle. Now if black plays c takes d4 and white takes back with the e pawn, then we're going to have a IQP pawn structure. It means that isolated queen pawn. Okay, an attacking player would take with the e pawn because this isolated pawn would give a lot of space for white. Whereas a positional player would take with the knight to have a heavy pawn structure. And Peter is well known for being a positional player, and that's why he was thinking. And surprisingly, he took with the e pawn. So this is against his style. Bishop e7. Now white should just continue the development, maybe with bishop f4 or bishop g5, followed by rook c1, rook e1, putting the rooks on the open file. The queen maybe go to e2 or c2, we will see. Let's see what setup he chooses. He went for bishop g5. Castle. Black's plan is probably b6, bishop b7, or knight b6, bishop d7, rook c8, bishop c6. I think these are the 2 setups black has. I don't like a6, b5 because it weakens the c5 square, and in the long term, white might be able to exploit this, maybe with knight bd2, just rerouting the knights to d2, b3, and then c5. Okay, rook c1. Now this is a critical moment. How black is going to develop. So the strategy with black in this type of pawn structure is to trade as many pieces as possible and then exploit the weakness of this pawn in the endgame. So knight d5 would offer a trade, and so as well knight b6. So okay, it seems like he wants to deal with bishop d7, bishop c6. And there's an idea of knight bd5 as well, just to blockade this IQP. Or maybe he wants to trade, that's also possible. Knight e5, very logical move. White wants to keep as many pieces on the board as possible because white has the space advantage. Next, white may follow this up with bishop b1, queen d2, threatening with bishop f6, queen h7 mate. We have knight bd5. Maybe the idea could be also, apart from blockading the d4, is to maybe like after bishop f6, just to take back with the knight and protect h7 and keep the d5 open for the rooks maybe. But taking with the bishop is also possible. But white doesn't want to trade because of the space advantage. Okay, first we see bishop b1 preparing a battery with queen d3, but queen d3 will not come with the threat because of this knight f6. So I guess white just simply wants to just prepare the attack. Maybe play queen d3 and then put some pressure, just restrict these knights. Alright, black is yet... black still needs to finish his development. And he plays bishop d7 with the idea of rook c8, activating the rook on a8. Both players have 7 minutes. Peter is about to move. Maybe he wants to play a3. So after queen d3, knight b4 won't be available. And maybe prepare bishop a2 and attack on this diagonal. a3 is a very typical plan in the IQP pawn structure. And we have queen b3. Attacking b7. Is it hanging though? So let's say if it's white to move again, can we take, or is the poison pawn? If white takes, there's rook b8, queen a7, rook b2. But maybe white can play bishop f6 first. And if bishop f6, queen b7, rook b8, then the d7 bishop would hang. So maybe after bishop f6, knight f6, b7 is not hanging because of rook b8. So there is a lot of things to calculate, a lot of captures. This is also possible, just to grab the bishop pair. It's not easy to finish the development. The queen on d8 cannot move because of this pin, and the queen also has to guard the d7 bishop. Queen b3 is a very unpleasant move for black. It's not easy to defend b7. Even if it's not hanging, at some point we have to take care of this pawn. Maybe black should play h6 to force the placement of this bishop, whether it wants to stay on this diagonal or on this diagonal. But h6 weakens the king, so maybe h6 is not such a good idea. And that's why black is thinking a lot. It's a very complicated position. According to the bar, it's equal. And we have queen b6. So it seems like everything is protected. Like if we take this bishop after knight d7, this d5 knight is guarding e7. And if we take on f6 to remove the defender of d7 bishop, then black can take with the knight. So probably that's what he was calculating, just making sure that he doesn't blunder a piece. And the queen trade benefits black because white has a huge attack against the king, so it's always a good idea to trade queens. And surprisingly, Peter takes the b6 queen. Wow, I didn't expect that at all. I learned that with IQP you should not trade, and he takes on b6. So can black take with the knight? Maybe black can, because if knight b6, black is not losing a piece. So like knight b6, knight d7, black can take with the b6 knight, and black takes with the knight. So the other option was a takes b6, but problem with that is it creates double pawns, and that's a weak pawn structure. We have bishop takes f6. I'm not sure why he took on f6. What's the plan? Maybe after bishop f6, knight d7, knight d7, white wants to play rook c7. Or play bishop e4 maybe. Yeah, maybe. Okay, he takes first on d7, knight takes d7, and rook c7. Okay. White is playing very aggressively. I think bishop e4 was also a move that white should have considered. I think white played a little bit too quick. And we have an opposite color bishop. Usually in the opposite color bishop endgame, there's it has a high chance to make a draw, but there are still many pieces on the board. So just because this is just because we have an opposite color bishop doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy draw for black. And we have knight b6, leaving the b7 pawn hanging, but okay, it couldn't be defended anyway. Rook c7 was a double attack. We have rook b7, and although white has an extra pawn, the weakness on d4 compensate that. Maybe black should play rook fd8 now, just to attack this weakness. And we have rook fd8. It's a very natural move. Now bishop d4 is a threat, so there is a move that defends d4, which is rook d1. But that's a very passive move. With white, in general speaking, we should play active move whenever possible. So to play actively, we could, for example, play bishop e4, setting up a discovered attack. So in case black takes on d4, let's say knight d4, rook d4, maybe we have rook b6 and attack this a8 rook. And if a takes b6, then we win a piece. But after rook b6, black can take on e4. So yeah, after rook e4, position is yeah, I'm not sure how to evaluate that position. And Peter also have no idea how to evaluate that. He wants to play the active bishop e4, but maybe after bishop e4, the game liquidates into a drawn endgame. So maybe why should just simply play a passive move rook d1 and then activate the pieces later. Play rook d1, bring the king to the center, and then see later what happens. Alright, both players are having 3 minutes. We're getting close. Okay, this is already time trouble. And we have rook d1. Okay. After a long think, Peter thought that bishop e4 doesn't work, and we have e5. Wow. So e5 looks like a blunder because white has 2 attackers and black has only 1 defender. But black realized that the d4 pawn is pinned because the d1 rook is hanging behind the pawn. So in case of d takes e5, black wins with rook d1. And Peter plays a very aggressive move g4. He wants to trap the bishop with g5. g5 is a huge threat. Now there is no backrank issues, but the d4 pawn is still pinned. So g5 is a huge threat. Maybe black should stop it with h6 or create a space for this bishop with g6. And after g5, we have bishop g7. Black cannot take on d4 because of g5. It's still trapping the bishop. e4. Wow. Didn't expect that move at all. That's a pawn sacrifice. What was the point of e4? I'm not sure. I think I don't see the idea of e4. I think I have no idea. Like I'm very confused. Why give up the pawn for nothing? It seems like Christian is also surprised, looking at his eyes. I'm not sure what he means. Like the bishop was attacking e4. Rook a8. I guess he was just simply missed bishop e4 somehow. Okay, we have rook a8. So leaving the a7 pawn hanging. And white ignores rook a7 and goes for g5. Rook b7, bishop takes b7. So black traded on b7 to create a space for this bishop. Now bishop e7 seems like the only move. Maybe there's rook d7, intermediate move, but black goes for the more solid bishop e7. We have d5. Best pawns should be pushed, and black plays bishop d6. Okay, now white has two extra pawns, but it's not easy to convert because the pawn structure on the king side are very weak. And we have b3. The idea is to just restrict this knight. Maybe white should improve this f3 knight with knight d4, knight c6. We have rook e8, activating the rook. Black wants to play rook e2, attack a2 and the whole second rank. And Peter immediately stops rook e2 with king f1. Very good move. So black chooses rook e4. Maybe black wants to play rook f4. And we have rook e1, rook trade. Rook takes e1, king takes e1. Okay, I'm not sure if this endgame is winning for white. We have king f8, king e2, centralizing the kings. In the endgame, it's very important to activate the king. So, okay, we have h4, knight d7, knight d4, knight d4, threatening with a fork, knight f5, winning a bishop. So maybe black should play g6 or move the d7 knight to create a space for the king, but that still hangs the g7 pawn. So maybe black should play g6. But there's also another threat, knight c6. So now I think black is in big trouble and he plays g6, but that blunders the a7 pawn. So after the king moves and after knight a7, white is going to have 3 extra pawns, and I think that's going to be too much for black to handle. White has now 3 passed pawns, and a2 and b3 are connected. So I think this is objectively winning for white. I don't see how black can save this position. You have knight c8. That's a little bit dubious move because after bishop c5, black could have chapped the c8 knight. d6, bishop d8. Wow, okay, black is white is forcing the black army back, so white's advantage is increasing and increasing, and Peter plays a very smart move a3 just to restrict this knight even more. We have knight c5 and now b4 comes with a tempo. He played it, knight e6. Now watch out, knight d4 is a threat, winning a piece. White has only 1 minute and black is under 1 minute. Knight g7. Black wants to play knight f5, winning a pawn. a4, but Peter ignores it. knight f5, king e4, and after knight h4, white will just push the a pawn. And what do we have here? Black sacrificed a piece. Okay, this position is hopeless. So black resigned here because black is down a piece, and also white is about to promote a new queen. Alright. Thank you for watching the video. Bye bye.